You're listening to a Smart When Shouting podcast. www.smartwhenshouting.com. Please remember to turn your cell phone to silent, note the emergency exit locations around you, and remember, Smart When Shouting is not responsible for any premature deaths. Please enjoy the show.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Why the Aliens Won't Land, the podcast where we cover the stupidest and most inane stories of the week that explain, if there are aliens out there, why they won't land here. I'm Adeline.
And I'm Matt Renfro.
So, what's been up?
Oh, not much. School, work. Recently we got to volunteer for the Special Olympics. That was awesome.
Oh, that's fun.
Awesome. How about you? What have you been up to?
Well, first tell me some more about the Special Olympics. What kind of stuff did you do? Were you the one in the Special Olympics, or?
Well, sadly, I didn't qualify this year, but...
This year.
No,
You've
next
been working
year.
really hard.
There's always next year.
Good, Matt.
No, we were like the lane monitors. We got to keep score and make sure, everybody was bowling fairly and whatnot.
So it was bowling?
Bowling. It was awesome.
Did the kids do good?
They did. Well, I mean, if I got up there and tried to bowl next to them, I would have been embarrassed. I know that.
Yeah, I probably would have too. I'm a terrible bowler with the bumpers up.
Oh, I'm good. That's what I'm saying. I'm good, and these kids would have embarrassed me. I'm not gonna lie, not to toot my own horn, but beep beep. I can throw the bowling ball pretty dang good, but these kids were better.
And it's kind of funny. Speaking of bowling, actually, I'm going bowling tonight.
Oh, yeah. Lucky you.
My partner invited me to go along with her and her family to go bowl.
To go get embarrassed.
Basically. I'm terrible at bowling. With the bumpers up, I am awful.
That doesn't really make sense, but I believe you.
I bowl and it hits the bumpers and it still gets nothing. No points.
So it's kind of like... like a pinball machine. You're bouncing stuff around, you're getting no points, and then it just drops and nothing.
Basically.
Game over.
The best score I've ever gotten, I think, was maybe 100 with bumpers up. And that was when I started doing this technique where I just pushed the ball as slowly as I could to still get it to the end. It didn't even stay in a straight line still, but instead of just a fast push where it's over in a few seconds, my slow push, I had people waiting for 30 seconds for the ball to get all the way down the lane. And I still suck.
So the rack comes down to pick the pins up before your ball even gets to them. I see. That's pretty bad.
That's
pretty bad.
I'm bad at bowling.
You should have fun then.
So tonight I will be embarrassed.
That's good.
Greatly.
At least it's in front of your partner's family.
Yes, that's the best situation.
That's totally awesome.
The best situation to be embarrassed.
Yeah, those are the best people to be embarrassed.
Is in front of your partner's family. So you see anything lately? Play anything lately?
Oh, let's see. What have I seen lately? I have held out forever and waited to see The Dark Knight until it came out on DVD, and I was impressed.
You mean the one from 2008?
No, The Dark Knight Rises.
My co-host.
I forgot the subtitle.
Is late at seeing movies. He waits years to see them.
I just can't do the whole sitting in the movie with all these stupid kids with their cell phones ringing, and they have to stand up and answer it to make it look like they look cool, and it's just man.
They have to get up in the movie and answer their phones to look cool. That's their thought process.
That's what society has come to. We have to show people that we're cool in the movie theaters.
Theater swag.
Yep. Because you're not cool if you're watching the movie. That's just retarded. Who would pay money and go watch a movie?
You've also been playing Devil May Cry, right?
Yeah, DMC.
So you told me.
The proper reboot. Well, I believe it's a proper reboot.
Some people we know don't think it's a
A
proper
few of our
reboot.
friends would heinously disagree and smite me to hell for saying that, but, it's not that bad.
I've heard good things about it, except from DMC fans, like mega fans. All the reviews online have been really good.
And I really do. I understand how these mega fans are a little butthurt. I can see where it has kind of been more Western Americanized here. Like it's not as, I don't know, it's not as flashy as it used to be, but it still works. It's cool. It was getting stale in my opinion, and they did a good job.
I'm very excited to play the demo.
Yes.
Might not be about my type of game, but I'm excited to play it. But what I have been playing recently is for PlayStation Plus members, which we both are. We recently got Mega Man 9 and 10. So I have been making my way through Mega Man 9.
Excellent.
Took me forever to beat anything.
One level?
One level.
One level, yes, I know what you mean exactly.
Yeah. It took me forever to beat that level, then it took me forever again to beat the next level. Third level, blazed right through it. So I don't know if that was just a really easy level or if I'm actually gaining experience as I go along in the Mega Man universe.
I think it's more of you probably figured the order out that you're supposed to do the levels in, which is ridiculous.
I googled the order out.
There you go. There you go. That works.
So, Mega Man's a really difficult game, as we all know. Or some of us know. As you and I know.
Yes, I know.
I've played Mega Man 2 back in the day. Never got far in it. So I'm actually trying to get through Mega Man and trying to see what all the hubbub is about.
It's a very stress-inducing game. But fun. And I'm not knocking it. I have gotten very close to splitting controllers over that game, I guarantee you. But I still come back to it. But it's great.
We'll see if I can even beat it.
Good luck.
Goodness.
I will say good luck on that. I have never fully finished a Mega Man game, and
Yeah.
I don't think I ever will, but I'll still play them all.
So, I recently watched The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Awful. Awful movie. Imagine The Breakfast Club. Don't imagine The Breakfast Club. Why would you want to imagine that? Imagine one of your friends, like one of your hipster friends, that all they do is talk about how much cooler the stuff they do is than the stuff everybody else gets. I don't know if hipster is the right word. It's just someone talking all day, nonstop, and not just hyping up what they do. They're literally saying, I listen to real music, I watch real movies. Things like that all day. That's what this movie is. It's that condensed for 90 minutes. There are whole scenes in this movie where all they do is talk about how much better their music is than others. There are multiple scenes where they go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, midnight premiere, which I love Rocky Horror. I don't need to see them go to it like 3 or 4 times in this movie. One time they act in it even. That's how big out of the mainstream they are. And it's literally the whole movie. A 90-minute hipster circle jerk. That's how I would describe it, literally.
Look at me, I'm a condescending asshole.
Essentially. And it's bad to say that, because the movie's about, like, depression and suicide. But that's what the entire movie feels like. And it even has great actors in it. It has Emma Watson from Harry Potter series. And they're all good as their characters. Their characters just suck. They just suck. So bad. Not recommended, obviously.
I
Maybe
won't
you
be
couldn't
seeing
tell.
that. I won't be seeing that then. I'll take it back to Blockbuster then.
I was just very disappointed. I've heard many people say they love it. Apparently the original book is really good. And the guy who wrote the original book directed and did the screenplay for this. So it's the best adaptation we're going to get. But
It's as good as it's going to get, and it still
sucks.
cracks.
So our story of the day. Aaron Swartz. And now, you know nothing about this. I picked it as our story of the day. And Aaron Swartz, great tech guy. When he was really young, he helped create RSS feeds. Literally the things that podcasts like us, news sites, things like that, blogs, they all use RSS feeds to print, to get their articles and things online, and to get them in an order, essentially. When he was younger, he did that. More recently, he helped start Reddit, the homepage of the internet, really great news site, essentially. User-generated news and content. Well, a number of years ago, he... Matt's over here trying to Spider-Man his way over.
And I did.
Over all the audio equipment here.
That's what that awkward...
He's trying to...
the awkward silence was me contorting my body over 2 computers, a microphone,
and I don't know what I'm supposed to say
chairs.
over that. He's just tiptoeing, he stretches his legs over the microphone.
I'm good now.
And I swear I heard something fart.
Yeah, well, that was more of my hip sliding out of place, but it could have been misinterpreted.
That is what we call a hip fart. A hip fart. Great way to start our sad story, isn't it?
Exactly, hip farts.
But Aaron Swartz, RSS Reddit, a few years ago, he went to a website called JSTOR, which I actually did know before this article. They store academic articles and papers and things like that online.
Okay, before we get into this, he has a pretty good track record. He
has
sounds like a cool dude.
good
to
track
me.
record.
Like, I don't know anything about this story. He sounds casual right now.
He's been great for the internet.
Okay.
Undoubtedly.
Okay, so that's my first impression.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
He went to JSTOR, and it's a website you pay for a subscription for to get academic and scholarly articles. Firstly, there's a problem right there. Like, I learned about JSTOR through my school. JSTOR was a thing that they had a subscription to, and you had to use for like your research papers and things like that. Academic type stuff. And that's where I first heard about it, and that's what it is. So, back when Aaron Swartz was in college, he went to JSTOR, he went on JSTOR, and he used a internet maneuver, I'm not fully sure what it was, where he essentially did a mass download of articles from JSTOR. A lot of different articles. I don't know if he just downloaded all he could or if there was a certain keyword he searched for. But a lot of articles. And his intent was to release those articles online for free. So people could get to these academic, scholarly articles with information that people would want for free without having to have a subscription to JSTOR. Now, after he did this...
So he wanted to be the Napster for JSTOR.
Essentially.
Okay.
Great guy, great track record, good cause. Mm-hmm. There's no real... Before we get further, there's no real reason for academic articles to be done like that. Like, we have Google and other places like that that are finding newspaper articles and things like that, releasing them online for free. Releasing as much as they can online for free. JSTOR, obsolete. There's no reason to hide important information behind a wall, a barrier. This should be like a non-for-profit Wikipedia type service.
Instead, it's more like a little club.
Yeah. It's essentially, they're making money off of academic work that should be freely available.
Yeah.
So while I don't necessarily agree with his method, I certainly agree with his cause.
Yes, his.
Get all this for free. I'd love to see someone buy out JSTOR and things like that. Release the information, maybe have it ad supported or something like that. Do a Wikipedia where they get people to donate, hold it up for a year, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's how it should be done, but it's not. So obviously there were some legal proceedings after that. But the important thing is JSTOR and Aaron Swartz, they talked and they decided not to proceed with legal work. However, so it should have been done with that, right? You would agree?
Yeah.
Both parties involved that would have had any involvement in it whatsoever, they say, let's not do anything.
Case closed.
Case closed. We're done. I don't know if they settle. I don't know if you had to pay him something. Or if they were just like, he's a kid. He's doing He says it's like 22 or something. He's like,
you're banned from
he's
our
got
site.
he got a dream. This isn't no WikiLeaks stuff.
Now you're just banned from our site.
Yeah, something
Even
like
though
that.
he could get it off there for free. So
He already has the article. Give us that flash drive. But there's apparently a clause in government law where if you break a website's terms of service, the government can come after you.
can prosecute.
Yep. Not related in any way to JSTOR, because they didn't want to.
So they're all cool with each other. It's all buddy buddies.
They've done it. They might not like each other.
They squashed it.
They squashed it. There we go.
They
Good
squashed it, and the government
steps in, intervenes.
feels the need to punish on their behalf.
So Aaron Swartz, he's been through these big legal proceedings. He used to be really rich. Not like, I don't know if a millionaire. I don't know if he was a millionaire.
Extremely well off.
Yes, well off. He had a lot of money. He'd made a lot through his internet work. And he was certainly more well off than a lot of Americans. And it looked like he would be doing even more. He has to use up all his money fighting back the government. Pushing off their legal proceedings, things like that. And he loses pretty much all his money. And they're still coming after him. They're looking to give him 50 years in prison for a case that is squashed, something that they didn't want him prosecuted for. 50 years. That is more than... that he would get more... because of the way that they are prosecuting him and prosecuting him for multiple things, quote unquote. That would give him more time in the slammer than if he had worked with Al-Qaeda against America. Not just worked with Al-Qaeda, worked with Al-Qaeda against America. I forget for what. That would give him more time in the slammer than if he was a rapist, convicted of manslaughter. All sorts of things. Less time than for taking articles with intent to release them and then not being prosecuted by that company. 50 years. So, not too long ago, Aaron Swartz, put under so much stress and pressure by the government, committed suicide. He'd lost so much of his money. I think most of it. I don't know if it was every dime, but the guy who helped create RSS, helped create Reddit, extremely well off, extremely liked, commit suicide over a case that was dismissed and not followed upon by the person who could have actually sued him. And instead, the government essentially drove a man to suicide for no reason.
That's what he was being punished for resolving without needing government intervention.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. They didn't need a huge legal battle that the government would make tons and tons of money off these court proceedings and whatnot. They didn't need to go through that procedure and pay the government for that, and the government didn't like that. That's what that sounds like.
There's been a petition to get the lady who proceeded to try and get Aaron in prison for these 50 years, to get her fired, essentially. And I think, yes. Why was there a need to pursue this? There is no need for the government to pursue that sort of action if it was settled out of court. The government, it's government bullying. That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
And there's no need for it. And I think that the only good thing that'll come out of this is that Aaron will become a martyr for some legal change, some social change. Sort of like how Bradley Manning, with all the WikiLeaks cases, has become sort of a martyr for change.
Yeah, I believe in it. If it doesn't involve some sort of death or murder initially, and you resolve with the opposing party, it's done.
Yeah.
It is done. If there was no harm done in the case, you know what I mean? If there were no real, like just crimes against humanity or societies or any one individual, You know what I mean? Like, and it's resolved like that between the two parties in question.
If it's resolved in a way that is fair.
Exactly.
Like, if someone... Like, say if someone accidentally kills someone, manslaughter, and essentially that person bullies the other people who's not suing. That's not okay.
No.
But if it's resolved in a fair way, where both parties don't feel wronged in the way it was resolved, then it shouldn't be pursued. Because it's not been put into the legal system. Or it's even been taken out of the legal system. Both parties have resolved. End of story.
Exactly. And if it doesn't involve any other parties beyond that, then it shouldn't. You know what I mean? It's nobody else's business. Like...
It only goes downhill from here, folks.
God, that's just disgusting.
And on that note, let's get to our bad stories.
Let's get to our bad stories after that nice story.
Is our story of the day? Let's get on to our bad ones. Alright, everybody, welcome to the Bad Stories segment. Both of us have brought two Tories. You bring your Tory, Matt? You bring your Tory with you?
I'm right.
You brought it?
I'll go right here.
Apologies to British people everywhere. We both bring two stories to the table. Two bad, stupid, ignorant stories.
Huh? That. Stories that make you go, huh?
Or just facepalm over and over again. We both bring two of those stories to the table. And you guys choose which story is worse. We're kind of in competition here to see who can find the stupidest story of the week. The most brrr, and the most brrr story. And you guys get to choose which of us did it, which of us found that. And I will start. Per Matt's request, I will start.
Yeah. Go.
Hurry up, we don't got time for this.
Let's hear this. I'm ready to start the competition.
So, my first story is something a little stupid. Vogue, we're off to a bad start there, recently had some news that Wrangler is going to be launching their first pair of moisturizing jeans.
I need that.
Now, these are going to be just normal blue jeans. Probably some other colors too, since it's in vogue. They're skinny fit, of course. That is going to incorporate high-performance skincare ingredients in the jeans to help protect your legs from the dehydrating effect of denim. What all jeans are made of, denim. They have 3 versions: aloe vera, olive extract, and smooth legs, that are incorporated into the jeans and are meant to keep your legs looking nice and hydrated. What the hell is this? Was there really a strong need for pants that have moisturizing products in them?
I mean, I usually just squeeze a whole bunch of lotion in my jeans before I hop in them, so I don't know what the hell they need these for. No, what in God's name?
The first question, is this actually going to work at all?
No, because if it does work, first of all, every time you wash your stuff, if that stuff is staying in there, what's keeping the dirt from not staying in there? Like, there's something wrong with these jeans. Like, this is some mad scientist, like...
Is it just supposed to give you like some sort of air flowing through your jeans or whatever?
Like...
Because it's hard to see, because most moisturizing products are supposed to like be rubbed into your skin. Whether it be a cream or some kind of lotion or something like that. You're supposed to rub them in, and then that's where they set. Is that not right?
Well, that's probably why... I guess that's why there's skinny jeans, because I'm guessing they have to be close to your skin to work, but...
There's no need for this.
The only there is one very small group of people I could see maybe needing this. People with itchy legs. Dry legs, ashy legs, that kind of stuff.
So it's just someone who's going around, oh, woe is me, I have this itch on my leg.
Well, I
if only I had jeans that moisturized for me.
Like, I just feel like if you put them on, take them off, you're going to be greasy. Like,
and that's not fun.
Like you're wearing a bottle of lotion.
I just don't see what was so hard about rubbing it in. Like, you literally... There you go, it's on your leg. And it works probably better than these jeans do.
Yes, like, there's no way these work. There's no way. No way. Apparently,
the only thing they could get the model to say about the jeans was they definitely feel cooler than regular jeans. So is it just some sort of way that's weaved that makes air go through it?
I think this is just a marketing scheme to play off people's gullibility.
Quote on it, after a day wearing them, my legs feel great. They come out feeling more silky than usual.
And I can understand that after the first time you wear them. I just don't see how those oils and extracts are supposed to stay in the jeans. And if they do, that's gross. Because they have to be absorbing your sweat and your nastiness. And there's no way that when you wash it, your washing machine knows to leave those oils and crap in your jeans and to take your dirt and sweat and soil out of there. That's filth. I am not down with that. Mm-hmm. I will not be purchasing a pair.
Yeah. Apparently they are going to be for sale for €85. The effects in the jeans will last up to 15 days. But you can buy reload sprays, quote unquote. Meaning that you can make the jeans last between 67 and 95 wears before they just don't work anymore. And €85, would that be about $100? Or I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think it's over 100.
But anybody that buys a pair of those jeans needs to seriously be tested for mental retardation. No one with an IQ above like 10 would believe that works. Probably the people that read Vogue think that works. So, power to those people.
There's just no need for this.
That's what I mean. They hired a scientist to develop this in a laboratory. Like, he had beakers and test tubes and jeans. And he came up with this. Oh my. So, alright. Good job, Vogue. Another invention we desperately needed.
Go ahead. Beat that.
Okay.
You think you can do it?
Let's see. Which one do I want to do first? Okay.
Yeah, you want to do that one first.
Since we're kind of hot on the heels of the conclusion of the riveting MTV series Jersey Shore,
I wonder, has that show won any awards? I hope not.
Oh, I really, really, really hope not. I mean, it made those kids famous, which was bad enough.
And apparently Snooki is now a best-selling author. Because of her...
Right up there next to Charles Dickens. Right up there. Oh, my Lord. But yeah, And speaking, no one thought that it could get worse than that. No one thought that it can get worse than T-shirt time. No one thought that it could get worse than... just
16 and pregnant.
16 and pregnant. Just we're sick of the.
What's
everyone
worse?
Was sick of Guidos.
Coming soon, 15 and pregnant. It's worse.
It gets worse. It gets worse. I was over at a friend's house the other day, and I'd heard nothing of this. And you would think that living in Oklahoma, I would hear of some country podunk stuff like this, but MTV has done it again. They have.
Oh, joy. I can't wait for this.
They have found their new diamond in the rough, and it is called Buck Wild. Think Jersey Shore in West Virginia with hillbillies. Now, we've gotten rid of all the good-looking working out people or just the Guidos, and now we have a group of, I think it's 9 kids, young adults. They're fresh out of high school, and this show follows them in their summer life afterwards, and it is ridiculous. These kids are only 18 to 20 at the most, and all they do is drink, cuss. They have subtitles. These are kids.
Don't all MTV TV shows now?
These are kids that just graduated high school, so you think their grammar would be, probably at its peak, but no, they have to have subtitles because you cannot understand them. I'll tell you about the first episode, the first scene. We have 4 young men sitting on a porch swing, debating about where their next batch of beer is coming from, where they're going to get drunk at, how they're going to get drunk. So,
and these aren't adults. These are right out of high school, 18-year-olds.
Exactly. These are 18, 20 at the max, because they may have got held back a few years.
I don't doubt it.
So,
I don't doubt it.
I'll go into role play.
Imagine that if MTV releases a show held back.
Exactly.
Exclusively about kids who were held back 4 grades. It's this 18-year-old in freshman year of high school.
That is the next thing. MTV is going to make it okay to get held back and be stupid. It's already okay to be pregnant when you're in high school, which, I won't get into that, but MTV is saying it's okay now to run around acting like a hillbilly, and I'll act out the first scene from the first episode. We have Jed. Hey, Tom, where are we getting our beer from? I don't know, man. As long as we get it, that's all I care about. Well, I got really wasted last night. I got the beer last night, so you're getting it today. And at this point, a car rolls up in the driveway, and 3 young women hop out of the car. The men start making comments. Oh, look at that Kara. She's looking mighty sexy today. I'd like to plow that. And then one of the other guys... Then Jad...
I'd like to plow that?
Then Jad... Exactly, plow it. I don't know if that's a farming term or an actual sexual term.
I'd like to plow that hoe.
Oh, man. So then the other one says, well, not as long as I get to it first. And then one of the other boys says, I don't care who hits it first as long as I hit it anytime. So, they're debating over who, when, what, and where, what order they're going to fornicate with these females. And the girls walk up, I'll keep it in your pants, boys.
But I wanted to plow that with that hoe so I can make my carrot grow.
And, it's showing these kids just getting buck wild. Out in West Virginia, they go mudding, and, they just do dangerous shit. These are...
Do they ever get buck naked?
Yes. Yes,
oh,
they're naked. I really don't... I thought that was child pornography, and I thought it was illegal for young adults to drink, but MTV says it's okay, so we're all good now.
The secret is they're actually all 30 years old. They're just acting. I can't wait until MTV releases a box set of all their shows, like Jersey Shore, 16 and Pregnant, Buck Wild, and just calls the box set America. This Is You. And that's the whole box set. I can't wait.
Or just, This Is Okay.
This is okay, the box set. But I'm sure this Buck Wild will be able to stand tall with the other Bucks of America, like Buck Cherry, the Aerosmith ripoff band. And Buck Angel, the adult film star.
Well,
I hear Buck Angel is actually a really nice guy. So.
Just to give you an idea, here's a few titles of episodes.
Oh, joy.
The first episode was titled F the Neighborhood. Then we have Dump Truck Pool Party, which, as you can imagine, is a dump truck lined with a plastic liner, filled with water, and turned into a swimming pool.
Because that's how you do it.
Then we got Sex, Lies, and Chicken Wings. Then we got...
Don't all chicken wings lie?
Then we got Paint the Town Hyperglow. I don't know what that even,
Is that like a car term?
I don't know. Raging Bulls, It's Not a Date, Pitching a Tent, and
oh my god,
Ghosts in the Holler. And there's still 2 episodes that have been yet to be titled.
Oh joy.
If they get aired.
I see one of them there that says, birthday wishes can come true.
I'm thinking that has to do with birthday sex.
It's your birthday. All I want for my birthday is a big booty. Buck Cherry. Or Buck Wild.
But yeah, and I'm pretty sure that the state that this is in
I wonder if they can hear the yapping dogs.
I'm sure.
Probably.
Then the show is filmed in Charleston, West Virginia, and the mayor of the town has, like, pleaded with MTV, please do not
Silence, you
air,
dogs! Silence!
They've pleaded with MTV to not air this show, and it makes them look like a bunch of idiots. So what does MTV do? Yeah, we have to air that. I mean, seriously, why?
It reminds me of back when the situation, the situation from
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore, yeah. Back when he wore a certain type of jeans, I think it was like Abercrombie.
And they asked
him to not, because it was defaming their brand, essentially. Devaluing their brand. Which, that's, oh my god.
Which was really kind of totally the opposite. Like,
yeah.
Even though he was a total douchebag, like, them making that statement, like, wow, you think you're that cool? Get out. Go away,
I'll take Abercrombie over Jersey Shore. I will say.
I would agree. Alright, so what do you got? Got another one for us?
Glenn Beck! That's my story. I win. That's my whole story.
That was retarded, I think. That was pretty retarded.
So, you'll have trouble beating this one. Glenn Beck is, quote-unquote, going galt. Taking inspiration... And I'm just going to read straight from my article here, because it's good enough. New York Daily News. Just to give my credit. Taking inspiration from Walt Disney... That's pretty good so far. And Ayn Rand... Uh-oh. This could run into trouble. Right-wing TV host Glenn Beck, the guy who Fox News refused to keep on, announced he is in the process of designing Independence USA, a hybrid city and theme park meant to inspire the rebirth of our nation through its principles. Based on the stuff that Walt Disney did with, or wanted to do with Epcot, essentially create a city of the future, and the work of Ayn Rand, who most libertarians distance themselves from. And I'm reading through her work now, and she has interesting philosophy. I'm not sure I want to follow that philosophy. He is building a city in Tejas based on that. He's creating a libertarian, or so he says libertarian, commune and theme park for $2 billion. Essentially, he's just creating this whole city that's going to be housed in, completely self-sustaining, where Glenn Beck and people who follow Glenn Beck can go and live and essentially show society how good you can be if you follow Glenn Beck's teachings. It will include things like a full state-of-the-art film studio, residential areas, and a theme park based on the work of Ayn Rand. Which Ayn Rand, in her book Atlas Shrugged, she talks about creating completely separatist living areas, mini utopias, essentially. And that's the idea he's following. And that's why this article said he was going Galt, because that's what the character in the book does, John Galt. Better yet, the PayPal co-founder the PayPal co-founder and venture capitalist Peter Thiel, who cares, giving $1.25 million to help build this. So, PayPal apparently funding independence.
So we don't have just one retard. We have multiple. A group of retards that believe in one retard.
Multiple crazies.
Wow.
But yeah, here's the list. It'll include a media center, an expo park, ranch and residential areas, and, of course, the full film studio so you can film a show, and I guess they're planning full movies based around, in this philosophy area. I don't know if they're all going to have to be based on the philosophy, or if they're going to create, like, 2.5 Crazy Men, like sitcoms like that, or something like that. Well, 2.5 Men was already crazy, but...
This reminds me of BioShock.
BioShock itself was based on the work of Ayn Rand.
Yeah.
Like, it was a criticism of that. Andrew Ryan, the protagonist in not protagonist, but the guy who created the city in BioShock that has fallen by the time you get there. His name realigns to "We Are Ayn Rand."
Yeah, I think this dude needs to play BioShock. It didn't really work out for that guy. It didn't work out. His utopia kind of messed up.
My thought is, you know Glenn Beck, right? Crazy.
Yeah.
How does he think this is going to work?
That's what I mean. And how do
What are
people
the
believe in
logistics
him
of this?
that this is going to work? Like, he has people convinced. Not just... He has people convinced that it's going to work. So they're backing him now. That's crazy.
At least one person.
Yeah.
And that person co-founded PayPal.
Yeah.
So clearly they know what they're doing. So we think maybe they had one good success. The rest is downhill.
I could see this turning into something very bad. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't get his way and he just flips out and does something bad.
I don't see how this is going to be successful.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure they can get this all built.
Like,
I mean, apparently they have a $2 billion budget, so they'll get something built.
I just don't see how they're going to get the zoning rights to build like a new America.
Mm-hmm.
How
Independence USA.
That's what. How do you go about that? Like, I need to buy this land for my new country that I'm forming, and it's going to be better than yours.
Also, I love the fact that they specify in the article, not to be confused with Karl Marx's ideas. So Glenn Beck is essentially, because he is creating a commune, which is very closely related to socialism and communism. Not in a bad way necessarily, but in an obvious way. Like the ideas of socialism, communism, spreading the wealth, sharing a community. That's all. This sounds very much like that. Which essentially, there's this idea that politics is not a spectrum, but rather it's a circle. And there's, on one point in the circle, is moderate, where you're pretty much in the middle of everything. And then you can keep going left and right, curving up the circle until you're at both ends of crazy, and they're the same dot. And that feels like what this is. I'm not sure if I agree with that political spectrum, but that's what this feels like. Both ends of crazy have found the breaking point, and both of them are there.
And they're working together.
And neither capitalism nor socialism are bad ideas, necessarily.
Just not when they're extreme.
Yeah.
To one extreme.
And having a commune can work. It's hard to see it working, and it hasn't been shown to work in very large amount of people or area or anything like that. But under certain leadership, a communist society, very small society, I can see it completely working. Just like a very small society based entirely on free market capitalism, all open, no government, can work also. But in only very small areas in the world we live in now. Maybe some world in the future, one or the other will work. But right now, neither of them will work except in very small amounts.
No, I just don't see him creating this in here.
I'm not sure any of them will work under Glenn Beck.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't see his leadership being the leadership that gets it done, but...
So essentially what we're showing is Glenn Beck is even more Beck shit crazy than what we knew.
And I would like to be what he's on.
To think that you can achieve
whatever he's taking to make himself believe that he can take on this, like, godlike task of creating a new society and a new country almost. Like, he's on some good shit.
Well, you know the red pill and the blue pill? he just mistook those for a crazy pill.
He took them both.
I think it's just called LSD.
Yeah, I believe. I need to go get me some then. If that's what LSD does, let me get some. But,
makes you think you're a god and can create utopia.
That's awesome.
But we will see, and if it gets further than him saying it, we'll certainly have a follow-up. Can't wait. 2 years down the road. Glenn Beck created perfect society. Everybody happy. No unemployed.
I will then eat my foot. I will then put my foot in my mouth, and I will love
So
it.
start nibble.
Nibble.
Yum.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
My foot.
All hail Glenn Beck.
I will eat his foot also. Cook it up, just nice skewer. Eat it with onions. Just put it on a nice plate. Over my steak. There we go.
Glenn Beck. Alright. Would you like to hear what I have?
No, let's just end it now.
Okay. Anyways, let's see. There's not a whole lot of information on this story yet because it just kind of surfaced yesterday.
We're recording this in the future, by the way.
I was in need of... I was, like, desperately searching for another retarded story. Not that there's not enough out there. But this came on TV last night.
Uh-oh.
And I was, no pun intended, dumbstruck by how absolutely retarded this
I was
is.
dumbstruck.
Notre Dame, the college, the football team, they have a player and student that attends and plays for them called Manti Te'o.
That's the first thing that's wrong with your story. Who names their son Manti Te'o?
First of all, his parents are retarded, so I kind of understand where he gets his dimwittedness.
Firstly, if you have that child and you want to give him a name with an M, the obvious answer is Mana, so he's called Manatee.
Oh! Yeah, if you're going to be retarded, at least be clever about it.
So he can be Manatee.
Oh.
And that way he still has a cool name at the beginning, like Mana, magic, power, secret of, Mana.
But no, we get
Manti.
Te'o.
Manti Te'o.
Like, he has apostrophes in his name. That's weird.
Manti sounds like a new, like, you know how they make all those quote-unquote men's products that are women's products but are made masculine for the unsecure men out there?
Panties for bros.
Yeah, manties.
Manties. Yeah.
And it feels like he would sponsor them. It's, firstly, that's stupid.
His name, that's my story. Someone named their kid Manti Te'o, guys. Who the hell did that?
If you have a hygiene product, why gender it?
So apart from...
Just... Okay, if you're gonna use mascara, use mascara. Call it mascara. Call it what it is. Stop being such a little idiot.
If you're fat, you got man boobs, wear a bra. You don't need a brosier.
There we go.
You need a bra. It's not a brosier.
If you're to the point where it is harming your health, there's no man brassiere. Just wear a brassiere. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with quote-unquote a man using quote-unquote women products. Just use products.
So, Manti Te'o. Manti Te'o.
Manti Te'o. I'm gonna, okay, keep doing the story. I'm gonna do a beat with that name.
So this guy, Manti Te'o, he plays for Notre Dame. He's apparently he's, you know, kind of a big deal. He's really good. La-di-da-di-da-da-da-da. So, for the past 4 years, Manti Te'o has been involved in a cyber relationship with a woman. I don't know her first name, but her last name is like Krupa or something. Oh, Kekua. Oh, her name is
Kua. I'm making fun. This is probably not a good thing that I'm making fun of people's names, but I find them funny.
Yes.
These are bad names.
Her name was Lene Marie Kekua.
Lene Kekua and Manti Te'o.
They were made for each other.
What are these names?
So these...
I love an interesting name, but those names are stupid.
So Manti finds... I don't know how it came about. If Lene... if Lene propositioned Manti, or if Manti found Lene, or... Like, these are real names.
The story is getting better and better just with the name.
So, Manti and Lene are going out over Facebook. And
what kind of a name is Facebook?
So, apparently, he claims he's, you know... Alright, we're not getting to that yet. Manti and Lene are going out for 4 years over Facebook.
Manti and Lene are sitting in a tree.
Manti and Lene are sitting in Facebook.
Sitting in a Facebook.
That's how really bad porn starts out.
It's probably not good that I'm making fun of their names. But their names are funny. They're funny sounding.
So they're going out for 4 years. Lene is in a car wreck. Like, this is just recently, around the time of, like, the BCS championship and the football, the bowls, and all that crap.
Is BCS a name also?
It's some sort of something.
BCS, spelled BESIUS.
So,
BCS Roman Emperor.
a few days, or a few weeks before their championship bowl Notre Dame is playing in, Lene, Manti's girlfriend, gets in a car wreck. A few days later, she develops leukemia. She then, shortly thereafter, dies. Her funeral was the same day as the championship game, and Manti did not attend the funeral because he said that she told him that that's an important game and that she wanted him to play in it. Okay, there's the story. Manti had a girlfriend.
That's sad. You should take your hat off for that story.
Manti's girlfriend died. Here's
That's the story.
Here's the shocker. A reporter has done some sleuthing. Batman himself, maybe. But a detective has done some sleuthing over the internet, and it appears that Lene Marie Kekua...
You're just saying these names now because you know I'm...
Lene Marie Kekua was not a real person.
Dun dun dun!
So this fool has been carrying on this fictitious relationship with, I don't know what, there's either two options, two outcomes, or two possible what's going on here. Either Manti is really messed up in the head and is pulling this big charade to make himself look like he's been hurt, because he's now saying that it was a hoax. Someone pulled a hoax on him and he's been hurt so bad. And either that, or somebody is sitting on the computer, like, talking to him, trying to get him money from him and stuff like that, like pictures and stuff like that. He hasn't admitted if he has sent her money and stuff like that, but he did say he talked to her on the phone. So
it's official.
I don't know. In the coming days, we're gonna probably get a lot of information on this. So either he is a complete retard, or a big fat liar. One of the two. It's ridiculous. No one knows the truth. He was dating a ghost, and
I don't think imaginary person and ghost are the same thing.
It's just like,
ooh, scary relationship.
It's just it's a big WTF. There is no answer to this story. There's no one knows what the hell's going on. All we know is this guy was carrying on a relationship with someone over the internet for 4 years that was not a real person.
And they have no idea whether he made it up or if someone hoaxed him.
And the thing is, the school has known about this story for the past month, and it is just now coming to light.
Now, I actually had heard about this story before you brought it up, because it was everywhere yesterday. Inescapable. And the weirdest thing about it, and the thing that makes me believe that he made it up for publicity, when his girlfriend died, he did not attend her funeral. And not because, say, it was the same day as his grandma's, he was in the hospital.
He was playing a game.
Yes, and his excuse was, she would not have wanted me to miss a game. I feel like that's the point where you say...
I feel like that's where he says, well, we never met anyways.
I know some people...
We never met anyways, so why do I need to be there?
Now, it makes sense if someone dies, some people will just keep going on with that day, or will keep going on with their job or something like that. Some people will take off, and that's perfectly fine. Some people, either way they cope, or for that reason, they wouldn't have want me to not. They just keep going with their life. But when the funeral time comes, you go to the funeral.
You go to the funeral. That is your time to pay your respects to that person.
Especially if it's your partner.
Your partner of 4 years.
Yeah. It's not like you were dating for a week.
Yeah. Like some skank you porked at a party or something like that.
It was said that when she was in the hospital, not the time she died apparently, but other times, they would call him and have him talk to her on the phone, because apparently him talking to her made her heartbeat go...
Stabilize.
Stabilize, yes. So he essentially is the thing that saved her for years, and he didn't go to her funeral because of the game. That doesn't sit right. For no matter what her wishes were, that doesn't sit right that you wouldn't go to her funeral.
Exactly.
If her wish really was don't go to my funeral, first that's a weird wish.
Yeah.
I can understand their wish being don't give me a funeral, don't make it that sort of festivity.
Make it a
But if you're gonna have a
celebration
funeral,
or
why would
something.
you not want your partner of 4 years to go to it?
Exactly.
I don't see this being a hoax. I don't see two guys from Kentucky or wherever. I'm not singling out Kentucky. Sorry, Kentuckians. You suck. I don't see two schmucks from Kentucky calling this random, because he wasn't known at the time. If he was known and then started dating this person, I could see it. But he wasn't a big person at the time. He wasn't this
Well,
big
he's big on their team.
on their.
I could see
He
maybe
wasn't-
a girl falling in love with him and creating a false identity, and then maybe it got too close to him finding something out. Maybe she couldn't go on with it anymore. She killed herself off.
That seems really fishy for him,
Ah.
for him not to have figured it out. For 4 years, that seems really fishy. And never meeting, that seems fishy too.
That does seem fishy, but I know
most people, even when they get in relationships online, they're making plans to go meet each other. They're doing all sorts of stuff like that. Like, it's very weird. I think it's very rare for a couple to be dating for 4 years and have no plans or attempts to go meet each other. To not have met each other, especially when they're adults. When they're kids, it might make more sense. Like, two 12-year-olds online, they'll probably still talk about it, but their parents aren't going to let them. But when you're adults, it doesn't make any sense. One of you fly out there, you meet each other in a public place. Sometimes you'll get stood up, sometimes stuff happens, it might not be real. But I find it very odd that they wouldn't try.
the only thing that's good about it is if what he's saying is true, it
That
should
is
be
a hoax.
chronicalized on his phone records and on Facebook. So
I have a feeling they're not going to find anything unless
Yeah.
he makes it post-hand. I feel like it's a publicity stunt. Obviously, I'll wait until the evidence comes
what's
in,
really
but
weird is a Cardinals player said he met the girl. It's just so ridiculous. Like, we're going to have to wait a few days to get
And remember,
the
there are
truth.
no records of her.
No records, no obituary, no nothing.
That's just... No records of her going to school. No records of her in the hospital. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
The fact that the big meat of the story was her with leukemia, having died. It's very fishy to me, and I feel like it's not true. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah, we shall see.
All right, now it's time for our Shimmer of Lights. Now, our Shiver of Light segment is where we don't want the show to be all negative, Nancy. So, we've both also found one really good article, one positive article. Also in competition, and you guys get to choose which article was more positive, which article was better. And essentially, we're going to find reasons why the aliens might want to land here someday if we keep up this good progress. It's our we have hope in humanity part of the show. And since I went first on the other one, I'll let you go first.
All right. For my Shining Light segment, this is kind of pulls at heartstrings a little bit, but a really big Star Trek fan heard that there was a 10-minute trailer for the new Star Trek Into Darkness
I know what he's talking about now.
before The Hobbit.
He won't shut up about this story.
So, him and his wife, they're 26 and 27, they go to their theater, pay money to see The Hobbit, just to see this 10-minute trailer of Star Trek Into Darkness, and to find out their theater wasn't showing it.
Very sad.
Very sad. What's even more...
I'd be upset.
What-
I wish that they would do that for, like, across-the-board theaters. Don't make exceptions.
Exactly, like...
If you're going to show the trailer, just show it everywhere. Don't make these weird exceptions.
Yes, I agree, because that's not fair.
Yeah.
Because you're wanting
Or
people
at least
to see it.
have a list, like a full list.
Or let people know where it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't just troll...
Like, in the commercial, say, in select theaters, go to here for exact list of theaters showing it.
Exactly, because no one likes hearing from their buddy, oh, dude, I saw the trailer before this movie. Then they go to the movie,
Yeah.
they don't see it. Like, oh, you asshole, you lied to me.
It's just best to have it there.
If it's
if it's like a special exclusive thing, say, opening day only.
Yes, exactly. So, they were disappointed that
And maybe they didn't. We're just being
the trailer wasn't there, and it gets, that's sad in itself, but the sad thing is, the husband, the guy that really wanted to see this trailer, has cancer. And
Not leukemia?
and I can't remember
Is his name Manti?
It is not Manti, it is not Te'o. I really don't even know his name.
Not Notre Dame. That's a stupid name also.
It was Kirk. His name was Kirk. We'll call him Kirk.
Was his girlfriend's name Spock?
Kirk was
Uhura.
Kirk has cancer, and
Kirk.
it's becoming very aggressive.
Kirk has cancer.
So his wife gets on Reddit and reaches out to people if anyone knows of theaters around them or any way that they can see this 10-minute trailer. So
For Kirk.
through the magic of Reddit, word of mouth gets around to the director of Star Trek Into Darkness, J.J. Abrams. And what does J.J. Abrams do? He hears this, and he flies the man and his wife out to Hollywood and screens the whole movie for him.
Now, to make sure we're clear, it's not the finished movie. It's what they have, because they're not done with the movie. According to J.J. Abrams, about the 9-minute intro, that's not finished. It's probably even going to go through changes. The score isn't finished yet. That's the only part that was scored, and that's probably going to change. So it's not close to finished.
But he saw a lot more than anyone else
Yes.
will ever get to see. And 4 days after that, he passed away.
And it's
sad,
yeah.
but it is amazing to me that someone with such a high status and such,
Is willing to do that.
is willing to do that for one person that they've never met in their life.
And it shows the goodness of the internet.
It
too.
is. It shows you that, there are people in Hollywood that have a heart. There are. They're not all jackasses.
It reminds me of back in, I want to say 2008, when a person in the hospital, kid I believe, similar situation, was going to die. He really wanted to see the movie Up. I don't believe it was out yet, but he really wanted to see it, and that's essentially the one thing he wanted to do, because he's going to die. Pixar heads take a DVD of a movie, fly out to his hospital room, pop the DVD in, sits and watches Up with him. 8 hours later, he dies. Less than a day. I love those stories. I think it shows the people who care about their art care about the people who watch their art too.
Exactly, because these people realize without these fans, they wouldn't have their medium to show people.
It's just a great story.
What do you got? Make me cry.
My story is not a crier, sadly.
All right, make me jump for joy.
And it's not as immediately gratifactory, I guess.
All
Is
right,
that
well,
the word?
let it grow on me then. Let it grow on
It's
me.
one that it may not seem to a lot of people that it's that amazing of a story at first, but the effect that this will have, huge.
The repercussions
On the people
rippling
affected.
effect.
Yes. There's a guy named Joe Lucan. He owns a grocery store named Lucan's Village Foods. Now, he's owned this store for 46 years. I don't know if it's his only store or if there are more. But he owns it, he loves it, and now, at age 70, it's time for him to give it on. He's had his time. 46-year career, owning your own business. That's pretty darn good. Now, there are multiple people who have wanted to purchase the store, who wanted to make it part of them. I don't know if they want to keep the name or if it's like a Walmart type entity who wants to get it from themselves. But there have been offers, some that could have fetched him at least $30 million.
Whoa.
A lot of money.
Whoa.
So this isn't just a small thing. However, instead of doing that, he decided that he would give the store to 400 of his employees.
Yes. That's amazing.
Using some form of stock system or whatever. He's creating a board of directors to have stock ownership for a while. I believe it says the employee, in order to get ownership, has to be at least 21 years old and have worked there for at least a year. There's no requirement to provide investment up front. So, essentially, 400 employees will communally own this store with a board of directors at top. It says in the article, which is minnesota.publicradio.org, I feel like I need to give props to the people who write this and find it. They will pay Lucan for the next 5 to 7 years, which is a great thing. They'll pay him he's giving them this thing that he built, the thing with his name on it. Instead of getting $30 million,
well,
he's giving it to his employees.
Instead of making a bunch of bigwigs even richer, he's giving people that have devoted their time to his business.
It's incredible.
He's giving it back to them. Like, you've put your time in here. This is your place. I'm giving it to you. That is amazing.
Absolutely great.
That's awesome. I love it.
They'll pay him for the next 5 to 7 years, maybe even more.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's going to be his same salary, just without the work. And that's in exchange, essentially, for him giving this store to them. Now, we'll see how it works. With the board of directors, hopefully there won't be any corruption or anything.
Yeah.
But it's another thing of business owners with a heart.
Which you don't see. You don't see that very often.
This guy is giving back to the people who made him a success.
Exactly.
And that, to me, is brilliant. It may not seem as instantly great as the guy who got to see the movie died a few days after. That's instantly great. That's awesome. Not dissing that in any way. This is something that'll help these people for years to come.
That's it. And he's not lining the pockets of people that don't need it.
Yeah.
Like, these are people that probably need it. They're working at a store like that. You know what I mean? They're probably not rich.
His personal business that he's built up.
Yeah.
And he's giving back to the people who's helped him with it.
Who helped make it.
Brilliant.
Yes. He's not going to grow a child and then give it to someone he doesn't know.
And that's why it is my positive story.
Ding! I give it props. I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, it seems we've reached the end of our show. Follow us at www.smartwinshouting.com/aliens. Make it easy on you guys. You can follow us on Twitter at @LandLove or at GameFro. New episode every Saturday. Make sure to go online, leave a comment, or tweet us telling you which stories you thought won, both stupidest story and best story. And we will see you next week.
See you later!